Hare Krishna. So everyone, welcome to the today's program of Saturday Bhagavad Gita discussion. So we are entering into the fourth and fifth verse of Bhagavad Gita, ninth chapter, where Lord Krishna is addressing Arjuna. So let's recite. Maya tatavidam sarvam jagat avyaktamurtina astani sarvabhutani nachaham teshavastitah nachamastani bhutani Ashyame yogamaishwaram bhutagam nacha bhutasto amatma bhuta bhavanah maya tatamidam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina matstani sarvabhutani na chaham tesha avastitah. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. Nachamastani bhutani pashyame yogamaishwaram bhutabran cha bhutasto mamatma bhuta bhavanah. And yet everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, I am not a part of this cosmic manifestation. For myself is the very source of creation. So these two verses are considered to be the most difficult two verses and most contradictory verses, most conflicting, confusing verses of Bhagavad Gita. And many who have read and with whom I have discussed Bhagavad Gita, they stop at these two verses and I at least got many who have asked me what is the meaning of these two, because Krishna is contradicting himself in this immediate two verses. He says one statement, he refutes that statement in the next. How to understand this is actually possible only by the mercy of teacher Srila Prabhupada coming in the disciplic succession. Any teacher who have who have been the authorized speaker and the followers from the disciplic succession coming from Lord Krishna himself. Yeah. So, as I said before, Bhagavad Gita is confidential. But 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Rajavidya Rajaguhyam. So this is the king of all knowledge. We have material knowledge and spiritual knowledge. Lord Krishna says this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita can actually, supersede all the knowledge one can gain in this world. If they can understand Bhagavad Gita, they have understood everything. Yeah. So Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, this is the most secret part of knowledge, Bhagavad Gita. And why is it so? So Lord Krishna speaks about the knowledge of the soul from the 2nd chapter, which he himself says it is a confidential knowledge. Lord Krishna speaks about the knowledge of karma from the 3rd chapters to the 5th chapter, and then Lord Krishna speaks about the Jnana Yoga, and which is considered as more confidential. And Lord Krishna says 9th chapter, from 9th chapter, the Bhakti Yoga starts from the 7th chapter, and Lord Krishna says the 9th chapter is the most confidential. Why? Because actually the process of Krishna consciousness, understanding who we are, how to execute the process, and what is the benefit of the process, and what is the object of the process is explained in the 9th chapter, because Krishna himself introduces and he provides the knowledge of himself in the 9th chapter, and that's why it's called the most confidential. And why it is most confidential? This is revealed in the 4th and 5th verses of 9th chapter. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagat avyakta murtinah mastani sarvabhutani na chaham tesha vastitah. Krishna says, Maya tatamidam. I have written, I have broken this entire 2 verses into 8 steps so that all of you can read it and understand it. Yeah. So, Maya tata idam sarvam. Maya means what? By me. So, tatam idam sarvam. This entire world which is pervaded with energy. Yeah, you can see the presence of energy everywhere. Without the energy, none of the matters can move. None of the matter can become living. Yeah, this entire world has a moving parts and unmoving parts. Yeah, and who is providing the energy to all? So that's why Krishna says, Maya tatam idam sarvam. This entire universal world, idam, this universe, sarvam, it is spread everywhere. What is spread everywhere? The energy of Krishna is spread everywhere. Jagat avyakta murtina. Krishna says, avyakta murtina. Vyakta means manifest, and avyakta, unmanifested. Yeah, and Krishna uses this word murtina. There's a reason to it, because Lord Krishna trying to say He is the eternal form which is existing. This Krishna is not a personality who appeared in this world, and that appearance was the sudden, and it formed, creation formed. That creation was existing before, and He just came from the spiritual world to the material world. It is not that Krishna was not existing before He actually took appearance in this material world. And many people have this confusion. See, the Pandavas know about Krishna, but what about Krishna before Krishna appearing? How many people know about Krishna before Krishna appearing? Many get into this question. When you say Krishna is the supreme person, He shouldn't have appeared at all. You get what I mean? He shouldn't have been known from the period of His appearance. That is the confusion, that you are saying Lord Krishna is the supreme person, but Lord Krishna appeared and disappeared. How can He be supreme person? So Krishna in this verse, in these 2 verses, He is explaining about His self-existence and the universal existence. Self-existence. Lord Krishna, though appeared in this world, He was existing before. He appeared now. He is going to exist in future as well in the same form. When Lord Krishna appeared in Vrindavana, it doesn't mean that his position became vacant. You get what I mean? The chair in which he was there in the spiritual world, it became vacant, and there was someone needs to be, filled. For example, if the Prime Minister's seat goes, yeah, the seat will be vacant. Someone needs to fill that seat, yeah. The President comes in and fills it, yeah. But it is nothing like it. Krishna can exist in material world, and Krishna also can exist in the spiritual world too. This is the inconceivable knowledge about Krishna. That's why Pashyame Yogameshwaram in the 5th verse of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, see, behold my mystic opulences. What is mystic about? Many people say, see, here is a mystic sadhu. He is able to bring one of the ring, from somewhere and pull somewhere. Yeah, those are all called mystics. Yeah, but what about mystic of Krishna himself? He can bring all ingredients for the creation of this entire cosmos. For example, engineer is given cement, bricks and sand, water. He creates a gigantic house like this, right? It was in an unmanifested form, it manifested. So Krishna can actually put all these creational ingredients into one small form and just take it back. You get what I mean? It is inconceivable mystic power. Someone can actually bring a ring and show, and we say, wow, Baba, mystic. Oh, he's a Bhagavan. Many people who do not understand this Bhagavad Gita knowledge can become prey to some some teachers who can do mystics. Someone who can, just put a snake around. Oh Lord Shiva, bow down. Many people, here itself there are so many snake charmers are there. Yeah. So people get into this confusion of considering everyone as God. So Krishna here, he's actually telling through these two verses, defeating all this. Yeah. And two aspects that we need to understand from this is Krishna has a self-existence. Krishna has, second one, universal existence. Both are there. Universal existence doesn't negate self-existence. Krishna being in this world doesn't negate the self-existence which Krishna exists in the spiritual world. These 2 points Krishna is trying to prove in these 2 verses, and he is trying to actually contradict, and we are going to solve this contradiction through a simple process of how our previous acharyas have explained. Yeah, and but that's why it's called Bhagavad Gita as it is. It is descended straight from the Krishna's, speaking to Arjuna, and it is being given through the disciplic succession of Narada, Brahma, Vyasadeva, and coming down in the disciplic succession, one after the other. Yeah. So Maya tatamidam sarvam jagat avyakta murtinaha. Krishna is saying murtinaha because he specifically want to say his form is eternal. His form is eternal, and his appearance and the disappearance has a reason. But that doesn't mean that Lord Krishna loses his form and gains another form. Yeah? Lord Krishna's form, he is a Satchidananda Vigraha. Yeah? Ishwaraha Parama Krishna. His Sat, Chit and Ananda. Sat is eternal, Chit is full of knowledge and full of bliss. Yeah, his form, and there is no difference between Krishna and the soul. There is no difference. Krishna is a super soul, and Krishna, his form. For example, we have a soul inside which actually pervades and gives the energy to this entire body. There is nothing like that for Lord Krishna. His body, there is no difference between his body and the soul. Yeah, that's why Lord Brahma says Satchidananda Vigraha. The form is eternal. You just appear to this world and just on your own free will disappear from this world. Yeah, and while he does the pastime, he contradicts and confuses everyone. While he disappears also, he does the Leela and contradicts everyone. Yeah. That's why to understand Krishna, we need to come out of all the egoistic mentalities that we know everything. By reading, by knowing something happening in this material world, we won't be able to actually understand Krishna. Yeah. So, Maya tatavidam sarvam jagat avyakta murtinaha. Krishna is saying, through my unmanifested form. What is unmanifested form? The energy of Krishna. Yeah, the energy of Krishna, through the energy of Krishna, he is able to control everything in this world. Yeah, everything in this world. Mastani sarvabhutani. I am actually, all beings are in me, but I am not in them. So how to understand this? And Mastani sarvabhutani, Krishna says in the 4th verse. Nacha mastani bhutani, Krishna says in 5th verse. How is it possible that Krishna can err himself? Arey yaar, galti ho gaya, maaf kar do yaar, please. Thoda, जोश में बोल दिया मैंने, Mastani Sarvabhutani, Krishna says in the 4th verse, because I'm going to confuse you all, because without getting confused, you won't be able to understand the mystery of Krishna's, instructions. Mastani Sarvabhutani, Krishna says, what is saying? All beings are in me. Krishna is saying, Nacha Mastani Bhutani, all beings are not in me. Foolish, yeah. How can a teacher say within a second? Because Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita within 60 minutes or so, yeah, and Arjuna understood. And we have been reading Bhagavad Gita for years and years and years, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, but still we are confused. Krishna said, Mastani Sarvabhutani, all beings in me. And Krishna is saying, Nacha Mastani Bhutani, all beings are not in me. What a teacher, Mastani Sarvabhutani na chaham tesha vastitaha. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. Then he says, Nacha Mastani Bhutani. Yeah? All created beings does not rest in me. Yeah? Are not, are not at all resting on me. How is it possible? Yeah? Pashyame yogameswaram. See my, mystic opulences. They are in me, they are not in me. Bhuta Brit, Nacha Bhutasto. I maintain this entire world, yet I am not part of this. So just like, I'm ensuring that I am cooking upstairs in the kitchen, but I am just, spending time with Divya and enjoying with her. Is it possible?
Yes, but not possible.
And if it happens, you all will just run away. So how to understand this? That's why Krishna is, very, very contradictory verses. These two things we need to understand. Self-existence of Krishna and universal existence of Krishna. These are all, both exist at the same time in both worlds. Krishna coming to this material world doesn't negate his presence in the spiritual world. That Pashyame Yogameshwaram. Yeah? So, how to realize this is very, very important to understand. So, for example, let us say that I was just cooking, upstairs. And while cooking upstairs, I actually invested my energy into cooking. How many of you believe in this? I have invested my energy into this cooking. Yeah, the consciousness might have gone. That's why I need to take bath. I need to, be at least purified from bodily. I need to have a proper, mood in which I cook. Yeah, that mood gets transferred to all of the people who actually eat. Yeah, that's why it's offered to Krishna, purified. Yeah, so that it can purify each and everyone. So, whoever actually sees, they realize that I have cooked the feast there. Depending upon your relationship with me, you would have a particular feeling about this entire service done. Yeah? So, really, if you really want to, understand this about this entire service that is being done, you need to first, what you need to do? You need to understand about me. Yeah? You need to understand who is the person who actually cooked. Yeah? And each one of you might have different relationship with me. I hope. Some might consider me as a friend, someone consider me as a brother, someone might consider me as a brother-in-law. Doesn't matter, whatever, teacher or whatever it is, based upon your relationship with me, your feeling towards this entire service is a different experience altogether. How many of you understand this? So if you really, someone cooked, let's eat and go. Yeah? This is not going to give us that experience. The holistic experience can come only when you have understood who is the background to this entire service. We start feeling about gratefulness. We start feeling the relationship starts building. Yeah? And the love and the affection starts building, seeing through this entire service. Service is a building block for developing all kinds of relationship. Yeah, there has to be a service. Without service, you cannot just build relationship through words. There has to be a practical service. Yeah. Hence, if you really want to realize this entire, the service aspects and also the experience of you through this entire engagement, first of all, you need to know the existence of me and knowledge about me, relationship with me, then presence of me in all the creation that has taken place. Yeah? Then there is a complete knowledge. You got what I mean? Similarly, Lord Krishna's creation also, it cannot be separated from Krishna's existence. And every individual experiences are different. Definitely, yes. But individual experiences of the miracles of the universes are different depending upon the relationship with Krishna. Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam avyayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaneti savyate. Krishna, Vasudev in Srimad Bhagavatam says the absolute truth can be understood in three ways. Brahmeti means everything is formless, everything is energy, cosmos, cosmic energy, nothing beyond it. The absolute truth is cosmic energy. And energy is flowing from the one person to the another person. This is the first level of understanding. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti. Next is to understand that there is a supervisor who is actually witnessing the activities of each and every person. Then, third one is the Bhagavan Eti Sabhyate. That supervisor is not that, his existence of supervising, 8,400,000 species of existence will negate his presence in the spiritual world. For example, one Russian, this is a century-old story. One Russian came to India to understand what is this Vedic knowledge all about. He went to various temples. Yeah, he went to the temples of Durga, holding a Trishul, and the Mahishasura. She is engaged. She went to the Ganesha temple and saw Ganesha providing, and Lakshmi a temple as well, where the wealth was flowing and she is holding and always, and the wealth is flowing from her hand. He went to the Lord Shiva's temple. He is also engaged, and he came to Krishna's temple. And he saw Lord Krishna holding flute. And if you go to holding flute is one thing. Ranganatha Swami temple, he's sleeping. What are you going to do? He's sleeping, yeah. Don't disturb him, don't go to temple. What an opulence. Lord Ranganatha is sleeping and we are going and praying to him. And Lakshmi is sitting on the feet of Ranganatha and pressing. Kaveri and the Lakshmi, they are sitting and they are pressing the leg. This is the higher aspects of Lord Krishna. Krishna playing flute is okay, he is engaged. And this Russian seeing all this, he came and he said, I understood one thing. There are many, many, many gods that is worshipped by all Indian population. But one God who is actually supreme is Lord Krishna. And he was asked when he went back, why is it so? Everyone are engaged in doing certain activities in this world. Lord Krishna, he is playing, he is enjoying with girls, he is enjoying with his friends, he is sharing rasgullas. See him, God, if he is supreme, he should just enjoy. Yeah? What is this? For example, if someone is a owner of a company, the mystic opulence of him is he will just go to Switzerland and he's enjoying and all the his energies are taking care of the company. Yeah, this doesn't happen in this world, material world. No matter how much, Ambani is also engaged. Yeah, material world it doesn't happen. No matter how much wealth. Yeah. So he said, Lord Krishna, I understood, he is the supreme because he is enjoying a supreme person. You should not worry about it. Someone will take care of the universal affairs. Yeah? That's why, and this is the mystery about Lord Krishna. That's why I was singing this song, right? Gopiya Bhagya Vidu Shri Patita Shishu Rupadalle Rudu Gopiya Bhagya Vidu. Lord Krishna appeared in this world in Vrindavana, and Lord Krishna was frightened by Mother Yashoda holding stick. He was stealing butter as though he doesn't have any butter in his house. He is the source of everything. And he was running away from the battlefield. He was called Ranchor. Can't he lift Sudarshan and kill? He was running out. And the Lord Brahma says, Krishna, please manage yourself here. I am your son. You are running away from your mother. This is a humiliation for me. It's a humiliation. How can you actually run away? And I'm the son sitting here. And this is the prayer, And Lord Shiva saying, I'm the grandson of yours. What are you doing? You are running away from the battlefield like Ranchor. And and not even grandchildren, grandchildren, the Devatas are praying. And this is a beautiful poem that is being sung. How is it possible for Lord Krishna to perform a pastime like this? That he can appear, the Supreme Person who created everything can appear and run away from a mother. That is, behold, mystic competences, Lord Krishna can actually, if he is a Purna Purushottama Bhagavan, because he can fight in the battlefield, he can run away from the battlefield. He can actually, love, and marry 16,108 wives. 1, 2, very difficult to manage. Managing 16,108 wives. Once Narada Muni became confused. What is this? Krishna, I saw him playing, with Gopals and stealing butter and all. And he is now in Dwarka, married to 16,108 wives. How is it possible? How is it managing? I am a brahmachari. I felt this managing love affairs is very, very difficult because he himself came as a gopi in Vrindavan. Narada Muni came as a gopi to feel the Rasa Leela of Krishna. How is he actually managing? And, Narada Muni wanted to see. He came to Dwarka. And when he came to the Dwarka, he wanted to really witness, Lord Krishna performing. How is he managing this? So when he entered the Dwarka, beautiful city of the Dwarka, unpolluted, roads are nicely laid out. And the gardens, the bushes in the both sides of the road. And wherever he goes, he sees beautiful trees, the birds chirping, and the peacock dancing, and ponds everywhere, the swans playing, and seeing the beauty of Dwarka, completely the Narada Muni was captured. The first thing he wanted to do is, he wanted to go and see Lord Krishna in his palace. He went to the first palace. There were so many palaces, 900,000 Bhagavatam explains. Beautiful palaces in Dwarka, And Krishna had given 16,000 palaces, one palaces for each wife. I was reading through, an American news which came, one man, he has married I think around 26 or 27 girls, and he has given, one bungalow to each one of them. And it came in the newspaper. Krishna, 16,108 plus his prime wives, And Narada Muni went to the first palace and he saw Krishna. He is sitting and, Rukmini is doing the chamara to fanning Krishna. Lord, when he entered in the palace, he saw the palace bedecked with jewels. The doors were silver doors, not wood. The silver door, When Narada Muni saw the opulences, he was completely mesmerized. He entered into the palace, he saw all the ceilings are bedecked with emeralds, jewels, the diamonds studded, gold studded, ceilings, You could be able to see some glance of it in Saddam Hussein's, toilet where he had golden, right? Gold-plated seat. But that's nothing. Yeah, it's insignificant. That itself came in newspaper so many times. So Krishna's all the furnitures were crowned. They were shining with jewels. And Lord Krishna was sitting, and Narada Muni saw hundreds of maidservants. They were engaged in doing all the house affairs. And Rukmini, leaving everything, all the household affairs, she was just engaged in doing the chamara for Krishna. And as soon as the Narada Muni came, Krishna, immediately seeing his holiness, he left his chair. He ran towards Narada Muni. Yeah? And he took his crown out. And he placed the crown at the feet of Narada Muni. And he did a prostrated obeisances. And seeing that, Narada Muni becomes, mesmerized. This is so beautifully explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah? And Narada Muni starts saying, "Oh Lord, you are the source of all the creation. Each and every living entity in this world are your Sahridam Sarva Bhutanam, Natva Mam Shanti. All are your friends. You protect all the devotees. You punish all the miscreants. How is it possible that you can actually, come and bow down before me? The source of me is bowing down to an insignificant, energy," Narada Muni says. And while bowing down, Lord Krishna says, "My dear Narada Muni, how can I serve you?" Yeah? And Narada Muni says, "My dear Lord, I just want, give me a benediction that I can always remember your name and chant your glories." Yeah? And Narada Muni smiles and he leaves the palace of Rukmini. And when he goes to the another palace, so he sees Lord Krishna is actually sitting with, another wife of him. And he's playing chess. Same time. He was sitting with Rukmini. The next palace he's playing chess. And he's sitting with Uddhava. And he's joking with Uddhava. And Uddhava is trying to help his wife so that she can beat Krishna. And both are playing chess. And Narada Muni enters in. And Krishna again, seeing Narada Muni, comes and does the same thing. And he does it in the way that Narada Muni doesn't even come to know that Lord Krishna had done the same activity in the palace of Rukmini. And Krishna doesn't even show any of the feelings that, abhi to aaya tha. So, Krishna doesn't even show the feeling that, यार अभी तो आया था, यहाँ पे क्यों आया यार, मैं आराम से चेस खेल रहा हूँ, क्यों यार इतना डिस्टर्ब करते हो, you are coming and disturbing, my private moments with my wives, yeah. Each and every palace. Yeah, and Narada Muni now, gets completely baffled. He was with Rukmini and he's playing chess here. How is it possible? Yeah, and then comes and again Lord Krishna says, "Your Holiness, Narada Muni, you are self-satisfied. There is nothing that I can satisfy you. Yeah? Then how is that? In what way I can serve you? There is nothing I can give you or please you. Yeah? Then how is it? Please tell me, how can I help you?" Yeah? So Narada Muni says, "My dear Lord, if you can please bestow a benediction that I can travel entire cosmos, everywhere, and I can chant your glories." Yeah? And he just smiles and he leaves from the palace. And then Narada Muni goes to another palace where Krishna is personally discussing the the kingdom, how to manage the kingdom with all the ministers at the same time. Uddhava is also there. He goes to another palace. He is planning how to get his children, grandchildren married to the brides and bridegrooms. Yeah? And he is planning everything. the marriage arrangement, I am already into it. How to get? But Krishna, not one, two, so many. He is planning already. And Narada Muni says, what is this happening? And the next, the palace he goes, Krishna is sleeping. And the next palace he goes, Krishna is actually, he's fed by his wife. Narada Muni goes to another palace, Krishna is playing with his horses in the courtyard. Narada Muni says, this is unbelievable. At the same time, Krishna is existing in each and every palaces, and Krishna is pleasing each and every wife, as though and each and every wife thinks that Krishna is completely dedicated to me and me only. Pashyame Yogameshwaram. That's why I told this story is very, very important to understand this fourth verse. Krishna says, Mastani Sarva Bhutani. So, the first Maya Tatamidam Sarvam Jagat Avyakta Murtinaha, the energy of Krishna pervading everywhere. To just consider Krishna as energy is a half understanding, just like I told you, right? If someone has a relationship with me and sees that I have cooked for them, the holistic understanding about me and the love that actually emanates from them, it is complete, because this entire engagement is a complete experience, because they not only know about my creation, they also know the creator as well. Similarly, so the energy, Maya Tatamidam Sarvam Jagat Avyakta Murtina, Krishna says, through my unmanifested form, I have pervaded everywhere. Every presence of nature is a mystery. How is it possible that, the water, when actually it is solid, it floats as an ice and covers the entire ocean? What is the mystery about it? It covers the entire ocean of the ice because it becomes a mechanism in which it can transform heat to all the aquatic animals living underneath the ocean in all the coldest places of this world. This is called a erratic behavior of water. At a certain temperature, it solidifies. A solid should actually, it floats. Yeah? And actually it protects the heat so that the aquatic animals can stay. Every, presence, creation in this world is a mystery. I am not going to go because it is a different, subject altogether. So, the energy of Krishna looking through the universal, creation, you get certain understanding about the mystery of this world. But when we understand Krishna's self-existence, universal existence, both together, self-existence is me, universal existence is my creation, which is cooking. Yeah? You are understanding? So, Krishna's existence is there in the spiritual world. And Krishna's universal existence is existing here in this universe. Yeah, so the energy and the energetic both needs to be understood. Designer and the design both needs to be understood. Law of this world and the lawmaker both needs to be understood. If you just see the law, it is an incomplete understanding. If you just see the energy away from energetic, it is an incomplete understanding. If we just see the design of this world and remove the designer, it is an incomplete understanding. Yeah? So both needs to be understood. So Maya Tatamidam Sarvam Jagat Avyakta Murtinaha. This is the Brahman realization of Krishna. Mastani Sarvabhutani. Krishna says all beings are in me. So the immediate question is, if Krishna, every being is in me, how is it possible that Krishna can exist? Has he lost his form? Krishna immediately says, but I am not in them. Where is he then? He is in the spiritual world. He has his self-existence. He has the universal existence. Universal existence as Brahman, as Paramatma. Mastani Sarvabhutani, Nachaham Teshu Avastitaha. Krishna negates it again and says, Na Teshu Avastitaha. I am not in them. I am existing. Where? I am existing in the spiritual world. existence of Paramatma to look after each and every problems of every living entity to guide them doesn't mean Krishna loses his form and Krishna is not staying in the spiritual world. This verse actually Krishna introduces us to all the three aspects of his existence. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaneti, Satyati. This is the complete understanding of Krishna who is giving to us through the medium of Arjuna. Yeah? Now, Krishna is telling, Nachamastani Bhutani. Why is he telling this? Nachamastani Bhutani. Now, just now he said, all beings are in me. Now, Krishna is saying, Nachamastani Bhutani. All beings are not in me. What he is trying to convey? There is an important understanding Lord Krishna is trying to convey to all of us. That once happened, I want to give an example. Why does Krishna say Nachamastani Bhutani? All beings are not in me. Why does he say that? So that for that understanding we need to understand through one of the example Lord Srila Prabhupada's pastime. Yeah. When Srila Prabhupada actually gave this knowledge of Krishna consciousness to so many Malachas of the Western world, yeah, who never used to take bath for 30-40 days, used to take drug and all kinds of smell used to come out. Yeah? And through the process of chanting the holy names, Prabhupada purified them. And this Western, when the people, they became devotees, in those devotees there were few who were painters, artists like Yadurani, who were many are there. Yeah. So they started painting different pastimes of Krishna. They never had, through the explanation of Srila Prabhupada, they started contemplating and they started writing. Yeah. And one of the paintings, Srila Prabhupada, when he entered into one of the temple, the painter actually wanted to show, she had painted a beautiful pastime of Narada Muni traveling in the space, chanting the names of Krishna. Yeah? And when Prabhupada came, this student who was an artist, she started immediately showing, and all the devotees in the temple, they were mesmerized with her paintings. And she started showing, Swamiji, this is Narada Muni who is actually, he's floating in the space and chanting the names of Krishna and spreading the glories of Krishna everywhere. And Srila Prabhupada said, what is this rubbish? Looking at the paintings. Yeah? And she was shocked. And the temple president, everyone was shocked because everyone was glorifying her. What a beautiful paintings! And Srila Prabhupada said, Narada Muni is a brahmachari. You have painted him as a personality who is attracting girls. Just cheat this painting. Yeah? And when I was reading through the Srila Prabhupada's pastime, so many artists, this is not a teacher. Yeah? The student will be completely moralized hearing this, right? And they share their feelings and they tell that all our paintings were rejected by Srila Prabhupada. See, we did years of painting and Prabhupada, whenever he used to come, he used to reject. And one of the other painting, Mataji did, was Lord Krishna. He's, a very, very, masculine form, yeah, with a triceps. Because she had heard Lord Krishna lifting Govardhan here, and all the gopis are below, and all the gopals are below. And she thought, Lord Krishna, if he is lifting, if you are a weightlifter, you need to have a triceps, right? You need to have, what is biceps, and you need to have a strong body. What is Arnold? I can't even spell it. Moore, yeah. He needs to have a big chest and gigantic steel body. And she had painted Lord Krishna with a muscular, yeah. And when Srila Prabhupada came, and he started He was so angry. What do you mean? This is not Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna has a tender body. And Swamiji, Lord Krishna lifted Govardhan. What do you mean? So Lord Krishna lifting Govardhan, does he need to show the triceps? He is Supreme Personality. He is a child when he lifted Govardhan. He doesn't need to have a masculine body. He is a Supreme. Whatever the wish he has, he will just do it. Remove this painting. Yeah? So Srila Prabhupada said, this is Nacha Mastani Bhutani. Krishna wanted to tell that none of the, because Krishna through this is trying to tell us that they are living in me, but they are not living in me because our understanding of the Supreme Person should not get into that, yaar, itna, बहुत ही भारी है यार, कोई आएगा क्या? There is a person who is lifting Atlas, right? There worshipper. It's going, Hercules. Yeah, people worship. Yeah, and he's holding like this, and he's holding the Atlas, gigantic body. There is a many understanding of what God is. So Srila Prabhupada said he doesn't need to be, having the masculine body to lift it. And Srila Prabhupada said in this verse. That's why he's saying Nacha Mastani Bhutani. None of the living entities are in me because Krishna wanted to tell that I'm not consumed by this entire affair. I'm not, I'm tired by this entire activities of taking care of all the living entities within me because, if you have 2 babies in the womb, you get tired. If you have 3 babies, you're gone. 4 babies, impossible. 8,400,000 pieces of life within the womb of Krishna. How we can carry up what is would be in this womb size, and each personality will be clashing with each other because it's not just human beings. If 2 human beings are there, twins are there in the womb, they can somehow adjust to each other. Tigers and all these animals are there in the womb itself. How they can manage? That's why Krishna says, Nacha Mastani Bhutani. Please do not get into that aspects of my creation and universal affair. How do I manage this? Because I have self-existence, I have universal existence. That's why Krishna says, Pashyame Yogam Aishwaram. Just see my mystic opulences. Bhuta Brut, Nacha Bhutasto. Yeah? So, what is the next one? Bhuta Brut, Nacha Bhutasto. I maintain this entire world. But I am not part of this cosmic manifestation. Just like a owner of a big company doesn't need to come to this, to this campus and see what is the affair going on. 9.15 hours is for us, not for the owner. So it doesn't meant for. Yeah, the HR is not going to get caught when someone is completely engaged the universal affairs of the campus. Eating all kinds of pizzas, eating all kinds of ice creams, and going and playing in the campus cricket stadium, and going and doing gym, swimming in the campuses. All facilities are there. If he forgets his work, he will get caught in HR. But if the owner forgets his work, I don't think there's an exception. So, Bhuta Brahman, I'm maintaining it, I'm not existing. Just the owner of the company can do this Leela. What about Lord Krishna? Yeah? Mamatma Bhuta Bhavanaha. Why? Because my existence itself is the source of all creation. For example, I took off to Srirangapatna just yesterday. Yeah? You know the reason why? I didn't even open my laptop. I hope no one is there. I didn't even open my laptop after 2 o'clock. Because we solved all the problems we had with the product which had gone live. All the cyber security issues, everything got solved. I said, what more? Just switch off, just enjoy. So once your source of creation is done, what do you have to worry about? You have everyone to take care. Yeah? Krishna, Supreme Personality, doesn't need to know, each and everything what is happening. Oh Lord, son, have you, got up at the right time? He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to actually look into all these aspects. Everything is taken care. Mama Atma Bhuta Bhavanaha. Because me is the source of entire creation. Through this, Lord Krishna is explaining his existence separate from this world, existing in this world, yet he is existing in the spiritual world. He is taking care of the entire universal affairs through the energy of heaven in his unmanifested form. Yeah? Hare Krishna.